Good afternoon, everyone. Let me make some preliminary remarks. First of all, we have put our conclusion in a Eurogroup statement, which will be distributed to you. Maybe you have it already. This was not agreed by the Greek representatives in the Eurogroup. Is this working at all? Okay. So it was a statement by 18 ministers. And you'll see a footnote making clear that the Greek representatives in the Eurogroup cannot agree with this statement. Second preliminary remark, we will immediately after this press conference have a second meeting to discuss any consequences from the political conclusion just drawn and to prepare for whatever is needed to make sure that at all times the stability of the Eurozone remains at its high level. As I said this morning when I came into the building, we were negatively surprised by the steps that the Greek government took last night. First of all, if you remember, after the last Eurogroup, I said that the door was still open and we were still prepared and the institutions were still prepared to look at last proposals from the Greek side and to continue talks. These were actually going on, these talks, last night between the institutions and representatives of the Greek authorities when these representatives were called out and had to leave the meeting. This took place last night, and that basically brought the talks to an end. Very quickly it was made clear why that took place. The Greek government has decided to respond negatively to the proposals which the joint institutions had put on the table. They rejected those proposals, and the joint opinion of the other 18 members of the Eurogroup is that they very much regret this, that they regret the fact that last night these talks were broken off and that today no further negotiations or talks were possible. Not only have the Greek government rejected the last proposals by the institutions, you have to realize that those proposals already made maximum use of the flexibility that the Eurogroup allowed in this process. We addressed those two kinds of flexibilities in our statement on the 20th of February. We were prepared to take into account the recent economic developments in Greece. There has been a major setback in the economic situation. And secondly, there was flexibility to allow the new Greek government to propose alternative ways to bring Greece back on a sustainable path. Fiscally, economically, financial stability. The institutions in their proposals have made, as I said, maximum use of that kind of flexibility. Even though, nonetheless, the Greek authorities have rejected those proposals and decided to put a proposal to their parliament, which is debated right now, to have a referendum with a negative advice on the proposals. So the process wasn't finished as far as we are concerned. The proposals weren't definitive. They weren't formally discussed or decided upon the Eurogroup. And yet the Greek government has broken off the process, has rejected the proposals, and is now putting them, which is also an unfair way to put it to the Greek people, putting them now to the Greek people in a referendum with a negative advice. Given that situation, I think we must conclude that, however regretful, the program will expire on Tuesday night. That is the latest date we could have reached an agreement, and it will expire on Tuesday night. And as I said, we will reconvene directly after this press conference to look at further steps to take, determined as we are to maintain the strength and the credibility of the Eurozone. That's all.